All right, Oval fans. Now, this isn't necessarily a theory video, but it is a concern, but a very wanted request within the Oval fan base, and that's whether or not we'll actually see Maude's funeral on screen. There are whispers, going around, especially during the live stream last night, about how fans don't want Maude to go through the Amanda treatment on the haves and the have-nots. I remember way back when, during my blogging days, about how, wow, Amanda's funeral is going to be great. We can meet some of Catherine and Jim's family members. And, I wonder if Candace is going to show up to rock the boat. But no, all we got was the family leaving the graveside and then the meeting. Well, like the post-funeral get together at the Crier Mansion, and then that was it. In last night's episode of The Oval, we know Victoria is, is going to talk with her father, not just about the whole body situation, but I do believe she said she was going to tell her father about what happened. Now, I cannot recall if this was just specifically about the Jean's body thing or if it had to do with Maude. I know that it took place in the bathroom after Jason, came out, but, I need to rewatch that scene because, that was my favorite part of the episode. I'm like, oh shit. But anyway, before moving forward in the video, if you can do me a favor and hit subscribe, click the bell notification icon and select all. That way you don't miss out whenever I post new content to the channel. Give the video a thumbs up and follow me on social media. And thanks once again, because of your efforts, we have jumped from a little over 20% to now over 30% of my viewership coming from subscribers. Basically, if you are a frequent viewer of the channel, but you haven't subscribed, please do so. It will help my, percentage go up. And if you have subscribed, continue to watch the content because basically I'm trying to get to at least 40% by the end of the month. So it's all about getting the audience viewership up in regards to the subscribers versus non-subscribers. So what exactly would be a lot of the benefits that would happen from a Maude funeral on screen? Well, we could possibly meet new characters like they debut. And when I say meet, I'm not talking about I'm not talking about just name drops or over the phone or intercoms. I mean, like in the flesh, meeting Victoria's father. That would be great. Victoria's siblings, the ones who pretty much always looked down on her because she did tell Max before that she was a bastard child, pretty much born out of an affair that took place between her mother and a man of a darker complexion, hence why Victoria is the dark sheep of her family. I just finished a video about a fan theory about how Lilo from Ruthless could be Victoria's brother. Like I said, you need to check that video out to get all the details. But like I said in the video, since the Oval timeline is slightly ahead of Ruthless, Lilo should be dead, meaning that if they do indeed have a funeral, Lilo should not be there because that would make no damn sense. Another thing is, I wonder if Gail would be present at the funeral. Would she be there? Because remember, she's in the middle of being reacclimated into the family and being purged of her desires for emancipation. So basically, that's something to keep in mind when you think about a funeral. It's like it's the funeral for the mother of the first lady. So you would think the entire family would be in attendance. And I don't know how much Gail has had to deal with so far, or what she's had to deal with being under lock and key by her grandmother's thugs. I mean, as Victoria said, she's with her grandfather now. So yeah, there's a lot going on we don't know, hence why we should have at least seen the scene where, Gail got dragged away or whatever. So and whatever it is, Jason, for as crazy as he is, he's like, look, we need to get Gail and, because whatever it was, it terrified her. So I really do wish we could have seen at least a scene where the plane landed, because I think Jason said before, like, grandma's body was taken away by the ambulances, Gail was snatched off the plane by those goons and whatnot. So it's just one of those situations where I really want to know if she'll be at the funeral. I feel like Gail's going through the ropes right now. And I feel like if they do bring her to the funeral, one of two things could happen. She could try to break free, jump to like a news reporter like, help save me, they're torturing me and stuff like that, that she could try to out the family right there on national coverage. That's a possibility. Or they've done so much to her already that she knows better than to try anything like that. That's one extreme that could actually happen. I mean, there's so much potential, but I'm afraid it might not happen because this season, just like Sisters, was filmed during the pandemic. However, there have been scenes in Sisters so far where there have been a sizable amount of people that, you know, fans were actually surprised they quote unquote got away with. I think the most noticeable scene of the season was when they had the fundraiser party at the gay bar for Maurice after he got out of the hospital, and there were a good amount of people in that club, and we were like, wow, I can't believe they had that many people, you know, despite the fact that, you know, it's the pandemic. And then of course, you know, the scene early in the season where Fatima took Zach out to dinner after their first chain breaker meeting. Like, they were in a restaurant, so I can't say how many people were in there, but it, you know how TV magic is, where they can take like 4 to 6 tables and make it look like it's a freaking stadium. So I don't know. Not to mention background noise, you know, people chit-chatting. So, you know, I just feel like there's a lot they can do. Also, on top of that, you also need to look at the fact that this is still Hunter's first week in office. I know it's hard to imagine, but everything that's been going on in the White House, it's still like his first week of administration. Yes, it's really hard to stomach, but that's it. But, you know, my biggest fear is the whole funeral arc is going to be completely done off screen. I mean, hell, Victoria says she wants to leave the White House because, you know, rightfully so. I wouldn't want to be in a freaking White House of a serial killer. I don't give a damn how much Secret Service is. We saw how easily Jason snuck into their bathroom at the end of the episode. What I'm trying to say is what they should really do is have Victoria go off to where her father is. Perfect opportunity to see Gail. I mean, because again, you got Victoria going to be safe, and then also the fact that she could let her father know what's going on with Jason. And look, for as bad and sneaky and psychotic Jason is, when the right people know what to do, they could probably take him out. Maybe not kill him, but get him back in line, or, you know, locked away. I don't know. But remember, Maude, like I said before, go back to the scene at the end of, when did he start choking Maude? Was that episode 1 during the cliffhanger? Go back to that scene. Maude she was actually concerned with Jason because of how he was acting. It wasn't like Gail, where she's been standoffish and rude since the moment they first locked eyes with each other. But go back to the scene where Maude is talking to Jason. She's talking like a concerned grandmother because she doesn't know about the monster that she's sitting across from. Now, with Victoria exposing who he really is to her father, I don't know what the relationship between Maude and her husband is compared to, you know, obviously Hunter and Victoria. But I don't think he will be too happy to find out that his wife, aka his partner of the 5 families, was killed by his grandson. There's going to be hell to pay. So I really do feel at the end of the day, Jason, if we do actually have Victoria talking to her father, is going to pay for this somehow. Another thing to consider is, like what I said before, perfect opportunity to have Victoria leave the White House, go to a different location, meet with her father, tell him what happened, and we get to meet the father in person. And then we have a great story arc for, you know, what Jason's going to go through during the not the back half, but let me put it this way. This season is only 22 episodes, and this was episode 5. So, you know, the mid-season finale is going to be here before we know it. You know, what would that be, episode 11? So I do think that the funeral will be a great way to have a lot of things exposed. Can you imagine if, you know, like Diane, Max, Kyle, Bobby, and everybody, they get, you know, certain information and they leak that during the funeral? Do you know how much hell would break loose then? So let me just say, as hyped as I am for the potential Maude's funeral, I don't think it's going to happen on screen. It would be great if it did. I mean, how would that be for like a mid-season finale? Like, you know, kind of like when Diane had that press conference and tore the house down. I feel like the same thing could happen at Maude's funeral, where, you know, like, you know, it could hit the fan, whether it be Jason exposed for being a serial killer, or, you know, oh yeah, that's right. because Denise, you know, they're trying to expose that murder without knowing that it was actually the first son. So there could be a lot of things that happen that could actually make this show definitely outdo the haves and the have-nots in more ways than one. Don't get me wrong. Have and have-nots, the early seasons, I put them on a pedestal, but when you compare the Oval season 2, at least just season 2 so far, to like the latest seasons of the haves and the have-nots, I don't think you can compare them, because the Oval, I do feel, is off to a very strong start this season. I do. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you want the Maude funeral to be shown on screen? I sure as hell would. It would make for one hell of a mid-season or season finale. And with that being said, feel free to donate to the channel via PayPal or Cash App, and I'll talk to you in the next video.